hop off for my man Hangman's. I'll be on a little bit. I don't know. Who knows, man?
You will be back on. You will see Actual Garbage coming back in. We're going to have Hangman come back into the fray. I'm going to chill with him for a little bit, and then we'll get AG with him afterwards. But, you know, I get to hog him up for most of the day, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Make good use of our VODs, man.
Yo, oh, yes, I will definitely be getting these up as quick as possible. By the way, y'all showing up. Like
New York coming to town.
Like, look, Jen obviously had a W against Light again last week, and it just shows the consistency of how good Ryu is against Fox. But even at that, Light is extremely good Fox, and Jen still gave him the work.
Yup.
And even that best of 5, like, just the fact that you could die at 50. But let's get off of that for now. Another Fox on screen. We're going to see Hawk versus Aerial Ace. This is a matchup locally that, for the most part, has not gone Hawk's way. Aerial Ace plays this matchup very well. He played against Light a lot. But Hawk has been making a lot of strides as a player. He got a upset on Pelka earlier today, and definitely can steal this match out if he plays it properly. But what do you think about this matchup as a whole? That's kind of odd.
Hit has a lot of good tools people sleep on. Everyone likes to place him up as the most unironically honest character in the game, but I feel like that undervalues a lot of his strong tools, such as his ability to force a lot of the battle off stage. His forward throw is fantastic for that. A lot of his smashes orient themselves laterally. Arrows make edge guarding a nightmare for characters with linear recovery, like Fox.
I agree with that, because everybody constantly says that Hit's this most honest character. Yeah, wow, that was a really smart option. Like, most of the time you see a lot of people try to punish rapid jabs and get clipped for it for being too aggro, but I never thought about that side B being used on that. That's very smart.
It's got just a little bit of super armor, and it's just useful enough to break through the low knockback of rapid jabs. Just like that, Aerial Ace taking it rather convincingly with 87% on board, but this could still go on for quite a bit, because Fox can continue to combo Aerial Ace for quite a while, but unless Hawk can confirm that kill, Pit could just be floating around, chipping damage bit by bit.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the things that Pit has going well for him in this matchup is when he's at the ledge. Pit in general is a great character at trapping at the ledge. He has the forward throw, he has the pressure of Nair, and if you decide to jump on stage, he can quickly with F smash. So it's very frightening, but he can spike Fox very easily, as well as apparently F smash him off the side. He just sniped him with the neutral beam off the side there.
That was a really good arrow.
I think what happened was he didn't actually die to the neutral B. I think he pushed him into the blast dome enough that when he pressed side B, the magnified pole actually killed him.
Yep.
So
stretching your hitbox is really dangerous, and unfortunately, Fox Illusion is one of those moves that extrapolates the hitbox to the point where if you're too close to the blast zone, you get that, and you just blow up.
Yeah, that was a very, very good call and very good accuracy on Aerial Ace's part. And relatively kind of stealing that stock a little bit, but I think even if he made it back, he wasn't going to snap the ledge, and he might have still been able to spike him anyway. So
yeah.
Also, one of the very underrated things when it comes to Pit, this man is one of the few characters in the game that has actual bread and butters on like almost every character, from 0 all the way up to 60%. You're guaranteed awful throws. Like, that's kind of nuts. But
Pit has a lot of strange like instances of consistency, and I feel like the way that his kit is balanced just helps further that. Because normally when you see characters putting out smash moves with Reckless Abandon, you would think, oh, they're getting panicky. But when it comes to Pit's kit, because the knockback scales so well through rage, but also while scaling, the knockback remains consistent. You could use those throughout combos in neutral, and it helps with Pit just maintaining against the wide variety of tools that the rest of the cast has to offer.
Yeah, the fact that you don't have to worry so much about, like, okay, with my rage, am I not going to be able to get this fouled up? With my percent where he's at, am I not going to get it? If I jump on the stage, am I going to get F-smashed by Fox? Yes, I am. So, but it's very, very good toolkit, but, you know, Fox being one of those characters as well who has the ability to just expand combos to no end with his Vortex options. And they're looking a little bit cleaner for Fox so far this first game, because usually it's relatively dominant when it comes to aerial ace, but he's looking relatively solid, getting his chip damage and starting to force some Vortex in aerial ace.
I mean, hey, you play this matchup enough, you're going to learn how to play it eventually, no matter how bad it is.
I like his usage of Nair at the ledge there, kind of like the way that's smart. That was very smart. Opting to go above stage to go for an active hitbox to challenge him instead of going for that regrab.
And on top of that, the Fox angle he chose managed to place him just slightly onto the platform, far enough from the ledge that Aerialist really couldn't come back with an aerial safely enough.
Yeah, I like the way that Hawk's been playing this so far. He's been playing very patient, very solid. Unfortunately, he gets a little overcommittal on the side there. He's going to eat an F throw for it. But if he continues to play the way he's playing right now, he definitely can sit this game out in his favor.
Another aspect of Pitt's kit that makes this matchup particularly frustrating for Fox is that Pitt has a lot of evasive tools. Outside of having multiple jumps, his backwards sidestep is notable for having the same frame data as Diddy Kong, who's notable for having some of the best rolls in the game. Now, roll frame data isn't something that's particularly exciting, but when it comes to being able to efficiently back yourself off and be prepared to counter-strike on a character like Fox, who's going to be constantly pressing forwards against you, that can have a big impact, especially as Aerial Ace is forced to the corner from Hawk's aggression.
Yeah, with a character who has the ability to be just so aggro and like not really need to commit to being defensive like we always talk about with Light. His best thing is being so aggressive. But when you have a character who has like immaculate defense, like that little bit of extra data on a roll, it can prove to be great when it comes to like endgame survivability. Like you might just manage to punish or be able to out microspace them that much, and usually it's not something most people know. Luckily, not getting punished very hard for that side B on stage there was Aerial Ace.
Yeah, it was a bit dangerous, but Aerial Ace actually not that bad of a position because of the rage being able to make his smash attacks even more dangerous at this point. And he's going to be flying around a lot. If Hawk can't land a solid back air at this point, this can be tied up as quickly as we're already seeing it.
This is a very bad position. Luckily, he was able to make it back, and he decides to commit. Okay, nobody's going to lose their stock for that whole situation, but that was looking very frightening. And last place you want to be at is near the ledge against Pitt when you're facing it. Nice. Not staying in shield, because if you hold this shield twice, you'll actually get shield broken there by that side B. And good smart on him. He's going for that like 4 times now, and it has not worked. Usually, I mean, if you read the neutral get up, sure, but I think he's got to be a little bit more careful. Wow, this accuracy is insane.
He followed him all the way down, and at the end, Hawk just gave it up.
What?
3 snipes in a row.
That was nuts. That accuracy was immaculate. Like he should have lost that match. Let's be real. Like I think that the way that Hawk was playing, he should have had that, but Hawk just could not seal that match out. And now Aerial Ace has an EMG top player of the week.
I mean, with those snipes, things were looking pretty fresh. He was keeping the lines consistent and dipping them just in time to hit. He was accounting for whatever option Hawk was going for. We saw him stall with a shine. We saw him change his Fox fire angles. It wasn't enough.
It was simplicity at its finest, too. He didn't go to try and spike him. He didn't go to try and grab him or anything like that, or try to do a full edge guard. He literally just shot him and just repeated it over and over until, like, simplicity can work in these games. You don't have to overcomplicate it, guys. But right now, you know what, the way that he's playing so far, I think that Hawk just needs to be relatively as aggressive as possible. Like, he needs to flip the script, kind of play similar to the way Light would play this matchup. But yeah, it's looking pretty good for him so far, getting some decent board taxes. Doesn't go for an air dodge repunish there for an up smash, but gets it on the bottom. If he went for it up top, it would have killed, but still extending it, putting the fear into his head.
Reads the air dodge, gets the back air, continues to maintain this ledge well, but can't get the trump. With Aerial Ace returned to the stage with a hefty amount of percentage, he's got his work cut out for him, because even though we're seeing him in a similar situation to the end of game 2, he's got Hawk in more of a juggle state as opposed to the traditional edge guard state. And things get a bit iffy there because Pitt's options get a lot worse the more vertical you're going. His up air isn't particularly reliable, and his arrows are much more difficult to align when it comes to an upward shot.
Yeah, he's done a relatively good job of juggling Hawk for the most part when he gets him bubble. But he's taking that up smash at the ledge there for shovels of trying to get back on stage. And let's see if Hawk can, I do that a lot. Hawk can actually hold on to this lead because he hasn't been able to really solidify like a good 2-stop lead where he gets a lot of percent off of being ahead. But once again, Aerial Aces are so good at ledge trapping on the side. Like if you try to get too overcommittal or being too aggressive with your recovery off the ledge, he will stuff you out every single time.
Although things are looking really good for Hawk right now. He's maintaining the stock at 162, and even though he hasn't really built up much percentage onto Aerial Ace, he's forcing Aerial Ace to just chase him, forcing him to want this kill. Forward throw, finally going to be able to do it. And There was some questionable DI on that too. Like he was going a little upwards on it.
Yeah, I think he was trying to play the battlefield. Like maybe mentally he was like, maybe if I go a little bit higher, it may work out. But he already had some survivability throws from battlefield as was, like the one before.
Right.
So that one definitely seemed, even if he had proper DI, was probably not going to live that. He was really close to the ledge. But right now, Aerial Ace has him in a good position. Not able to capitalize off the fact that he had him off stage there. If Aerial Ace could force the situation like he did on the last couple games, he's been winning off stage or situations near the ledge for the most part throughout the set.
And the charge forward smash not going to be able to come through for Aerial Ace. However, he keeps on managing to catch Hawk in these little instances at the ledge as opposed to the consistent ledge guards that we saw earlier. And I feel like that's just as good because he's making sure to go trade even with these trades in percentage, while Hawk is too busy chasing Aerial Ace to really maintain all the stage control that he has available to him.
Fortunately for Aerial Ace there, the tech in place did not get him hit by the up smash underneath the platform from Fox. And right at a dead even game right now, trying to stuff out that side B high recovery. He already knew it was coming, but he was able to get the invincibility portion of the side B to go through. It just calls him out on an aggressive approach with that F smash. Knew that he was going to try and go for something. It's like, you know what? I'm up 2 games. That's the type of game. That's the type of option you could go for when you're up 2 games. If you blow it, you're still in the lead. You don't want to give people momentum, obviously, but that wouldn't have been like a real mentality throwaway. That would have just been like, okay, I tried to go for this option that just so happened to work for him that time. But it gets in the back of people's heads for future too. Like, crap, they saw